Hi, welcome again to our Blue Cross of Idaho mini-series celebrating National Yoga Month. I'm Eric Earling, Director of Communications here at Blue Cross of Idaho. I'm also a certified yoga instructor. In a previous edition of this series, we talked a little bit about some postures to help you ease that pressure on the low back. Another way to help ease pressure on the low back is to spend a little bit of time stretching out the hips, which is actually a place we store a lot of stress in our bodies physiologically. So here's a couple options for how to do that. First, we're just gonna take, it's called a low forward lunge. If you've got a bad knee, like I do, maybe use a little towel or a pillow. Take that front foot forward and just allow yourself to sink into it a little bit. What we're trying to open up is this hip flexor right here, which gets super tight when we spend our day sitting at a desk or sitting in a car or been traveling. So some options here, you might take your hands and just press them into that top thigh. So even as we're hanging out here and we're trying to press those hips forward, we're lifting up with the chest so we're not collapsing into that low back. You might even take the option of taking this arm up to feel that stretch right along the front of the body, opening up that hip flexor. And then we can just switch sides, maybe move that towel or pillow over, take the next foot forward and allow yourself just to sink into this. Whenever we're going through postures like this, even if we're not taking an active class, we want to do a long inhale, maybe lengthening up through the crown of the head, and an exhale to sink into the stretch, in this case, letting that hip flexor on the other side open on up. While we're working on the hips, let's also take something called lizard pose. So take yourself, if you've got a yoga mat, maybe walking that foot a few inches farther out to the side of the yoga mat. And then we allow ourselves to come on down to the hands, maybe walk that back knee a little farther back. And now we're allowing the hips to sink toward the ground. We're gonna feel it most in that hip of the forward leg. So in this case, my left hip. Option to hang out here and breathe, or maybe you even can come on down to almost the forearms, maybe all the way down to the forearms. Doesn't really matter, as long as you're keeping that spine long, breathing into it. And then we can switch to the other side, bringing one leg back, the other leg forward, walking that front foot out a little farther again so we have some more space. And allow those hips to sink down into lizard again. Deep inhale, deep exhale, deep inhale, deep exhale. Maybe spend 2 or 3 minutes in each of those poses. Maybe even 2 or 3 minutes on each side. Allow yourself to breathe deep, let those hips relax, and you might find a lot of benefit in the low back as well.